Hi, welcome to On the Line, and I'm your host, Britton NewOne Carter. And tonight, as always, we promise to bring you a great show. But before we get started, let me remind you, you can follow us on Facebook at On the Line TV Show. Also on Twitter at On the Line TV Show. And if you want to kick it with us, if you want to interact, reach us on Twitter at hashtag Watch On The Line. Tonight we have with us a very close friend of mine, Mr. Jordan. Actually, everybody I bring on this show is good friends with me, but this guy here, we have a unique bond. And I wanted the public to be introduced to Mr. Jordan. He's a chef, and of all things, and he hails from Cincinnati, Ohio. So without further ado, Jordan, thanks a lot for being here, brother.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for inviting me. I'm just glad to be here.
Great. Listen, let's just jump right into this thing, because this is a pretty laid-back set tonight.
Mm-hmm.
So, my man brought some food. We're going to talk, we're going to be introduced to his cuisines, and he's going to give you some information on what he does and how to get with him. But before we get into that, why don't you tell the public who you are, how to, just give us something on your beginnings.
Born and raised Cincinnati, Ohio. Went to the public school, oldest of 5. Just, got into the culinary arts business. Had a son and needed to support him financially, and actually lied about being able to work in kitchens in my experience. Got in there, it was a new experience. It was an eclectic place. It was next to music hall, so the people was eclectic, the food was eclectic, the people that worked there was eclectic, and it opened up a new world for me. I learned to trade, and in the beginning it was about finances, but I actually, we fall into things thinking one thing and it's actually something else. Over the years, just honed my skills and worked hard and kept my head down and prayed a lot and, made a lot of mistakes along the way. So today I'm here to help.
Great. And you're doing a fabulous job. I've seen you everywhere. I've seen you on Channel 12, I believe. I've seen you hanging out with some big stars in the city. You're feeding them. You're doing some great things with them. But in looking back, before you became a chef, before you told the story about you being able to cook and sneaking into somebody's kitchen, the Anthony Jordan prior to that time, and you kind of touched on that you had some difficulties along the way. Here on our show, On the Line, we like to do exactly that, keep it on the line. And one of the things that we like to do is try to connect with our audience, with those youth who find that they're having a struggle along the way, not even the youth, but any individual that finds themselves trapped in adversity and struggles. You're an example of second chances.
Yes.
And that's basically why I brought you on, because this guy here is a sterling example of what second chances can do for you. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, it was, of course, in my industry, I had a lawyer one time tell me that restaurants was a breeding ground for drugs. And I say that because, working second shift in a restaurant, you're on your feet all day, you're going in extreme temperatures, hot and cold, you can get burned, you can get cut. And the release was to go out to bars at night and drink, and a lot of times, drugs come involved, and and I lived that lifestyle. I was in head first, and and it caused me some problems. It caused me some problems with the law. It caused me some problems with my family, with my emotions, and with the Most High most of all, because he was sad because I wasn't living according to the book that he wrote for my life. And so we and I struggled. I struggled, and today I'm here. People always say, hey, use this, use on TV, blah, blah, blah. I'm here today for that other chef, that other cook who's in the kitchen and he's soaking wet and he's hot and he's frustrated and he don't know if he's, going to make it to be a chef or even on his own business. So, you know, those are the people that I root for, and those are the people that I stand for.
That's fantastic. You know, and I mentioned about us keeping it on the line, so I'd be remiss if I didn't stick to my own mission statement. You know, so Jordan and I met sort of when we both were struggling and going through. Everybody knows my story, but we were going through some adversity, and we happened to be at a place we didn't want to be at.
Right.
And it's kind of funny because when we saw each other for the first time, after about, what was it, about a year or so? Okay, and I saw him in 2012. And shortly after that, we watched each other's progress, we watched each other's steps. And prior to that, we had an opportunity when we were in this uncomfortable place to talk about our dreams. And he would tell me about his restaurant dreams and being a chef. And I would tell him about my dreams of doing TV, doing movies, doing plays. In fact, I had written a play in this uncomfortable place, which he helped me with musically, giving me some musical advice. This guy here is also a musician. You know, I don't know why he's holding back. I don't know why he's holding back. He's a musician, and he's one of the best guards I've ever seen. You know? So with that, you know, I just wanted to kind of put it out there and just let our audience know really who you are and who we are with each other. Because I think it's important for our youth to find something to hold on to, something to gravitate to. You know, and I know that we talked about it briefly, you know, the shootings in the city. You know, what's your take on the violence that's going on in our city, and what advice would you give?
The violence in the city is, of course, you know, just something that no city wants to be known for and to be the focus of that city and that area. And I remember being that age when all that stuff was going on and thinking that people my age was looking down on me and critiquing me. And now I'm my age and I'm looking back at people that, you know, when I was that age. Right. And I think it's a lot of, you know, and I'm talking to a lot of people who have a lot of programs for so and so. But I think guys like me and you know, it's the responsibility of guys like me and you who came from that past, who they can look up to, you know, because I look up to the guys that's in front of me, you know, and I'm overwhelmed and sometimes I get choked up by, you know, just what God has done, you know, for me, how he has blessed me, you know, because if I got what I deserved, then I wouldn't be sitting here with you today.
Wow, that's profound, abundantly. Well, let's move on to exactly what you're doing today. And today we know that you're the owner of two businesses.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. And the first business is you're the owner of Vito
Personal Chef.
Vito Personal Chef. Tell me a little bit about that business.
Vito was a concept kind of like when me and you met, you know, when we was bringing around ideas. And of course, I knew I wouldn't have a whole bunch of startup money. Right. And but I wanted a business. I've always envisioned myself having a business, and of course, something having to do with being a chef, being a cook, whatever. Read an article of all places in a magazine, and Donald Trump had some personal chefs in the hotel room. When you rent the hotel room, you get the personal chef come with it, and that's where it started. The seed was planted, and I started taking footsteps in that way. You know, going to school.
Let me ask you this. Now, you grew up where in Cincinnati?
Cincinnati, downtown.
I mean, downtown Cincinnati.
Yes.
Okay, German and Vito's. Is that Italian?
It's French Italian for French invitation.
Italian. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. I heard a little something there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So how does a brother come up with a concept like that that's from downtown Cincinnati? I mean, you know, I think when you came up with that concept, it was a difficult time in your life.
Yeah.
What really sparked that?
Just a passion for what I do. And first of all, just being honest about the resources that I had at the time. Okay. You know, like I said, you know, I knew I didn't have a lot of startup capital like everybody else. You know, it was low. They paying me for the talent.
Okay. There you go.
They paying me for the talent.
There you go. Pay for the talent. They see your ball game, they pay you for that too.
That's you. That's you. You know, alley-oop, 40 and over. You know, I remember that.
That was kind of nasty.
Yeah, I remember that. I don't like that.
So, your second, so moving right along, your second business is a better restaurant.
Second business is a better restaurant, and it's kind of following in the same steps with Vito, because Vito is healthy. I do meal plans and meal prep.
Right.
For people, you know, competitive bodybuilders, you know, athletes,
Right.
people who,
Fat
you know,
guys like me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You ain't fat, man. But just healthy. It's all about health and, you know, physical health.
Right.
And you know, health starts physically, mentally, emotionally. I want to touch all of them holistically.
Okay.
But I handle the food part.
Okay.
Same with a better restaurant. Better restaurant, we're going to keep it moving with the same we have a new concept where it's gonna a lot of vegans and vegetarians and meat eaters, and the vegans don't want their items to touch anything that has ever had meat in it. So we're gonna separate them. We're gonna color code things, and it's gonna be good.
Okay. Now, let me ask you this, and I know you do. I know you have a passion for our public. Mm-hmm. Do you see yourself engaging in any educational outlets for our youth, or for young guys that's out there just lost period and want to get out? You know, everybody can't be a hoop star. Everybody can't be a pigskin star. Right. You know, you can't. Nobody's just gonna wake up one day and just be a baseball player, superstar. Mm-hmm. None of that. So you know, we have to offer them some other things, some other outlets. Okay. Is this one of your passions? Yes.
Okay. Well, today, chefs are rock stars too.
That's right.
You know, I remember back in the day when I got off work, I would take the chef jacket off because I was ashamed of the profession. But now today, it's I can't go nowhere without this jacket and cause a stir.
That's
you
right.
know. So yes, you know, I do a lot of. Most of the time, somebody call me and it involves some kids, like Cincinnati Preparatory on Lynn Street.
That's right. Okay.
I did cooking classes for them for free.
Okay.
Most of the time, if it's involving some of our youth, I want them, I'm there. Mm-hmm. You know, mm-hmm. We don't talk money, we don't talk bartering. You know, I just kind of figure out if I have the time, and I go there and I give them my time because they need to see that.
Okay, you heard him. So we're going to give some contact information out at the end of the show, how you can contact Mr. Jordan, and kids just know. You know, you don't have to set your sights on one particular avenue in life. You can dream and dream big, and mm-hmm. big things will happen to you. So moving right along, we got some dishes here, right?
Yes, sir.
So let's talk about these dishes.
Well, what I brought today is what we call a chopped salad. It has white cabbage, it has purple cabbage, it has mixed greens in it. We have almonds, toasted thingies on top, raspberries, blackberries, mango, and we have poppy seed honey dressing that we're going to drizzle on it, and I hope everybody in the studio likes it.
Okay, so that's what this is.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. And everything is healthy again, you know, low calorie.
Okay.
Fuel.
Fuel.
For alley-oops.
So, so I know you produce a lot of your products.
Yes.
Correct? Is this one of them?
No, that's not one of them. Once the restaurant opens, we will have a signature line of things, but I don't want to put them out right now because I don't want nobody else to jump the gun and
that's right.
You know, and mess up the industry with an inferior product.
Okay, yeah, we don't want to put nothing out inferior.
No.
So speaking about inferior, we know this is good, but let me give the shout out first of all. I'd be remiss if I don't do this. I'm fasting right now, so it's Ramadan, and I like to say to the Islamic population around the globe, Assalamu alaikum, Ramadan Mubarak. So on that note, I got a taster.
There it is. Let's get him.
And it'll be my producer,
Oh,
Monty.
yeah. We got to take care of her.
Monty, come on up here and get you some of this.
I'll be happy to.
Yes, we're going to get her straightened out here. We're going to produce her happy.
Mm-hmm. So do you just drown it or lightly?
You lightly.
Okay.
So you drown it and you'll overpower the flavor, everything else in there.
Okay.
So we want some feedback. You heard it on the line.
Is it real good?
It's real good.
Now keep it on the line now.
It's a nice balance, a nice blend. This is delicious.
Thank you.
That's my producer, y'all, and she gonna keep it real. Speaking of that, I had Mr. Jordan on the set of my play, and you got some great reviews, brother. By the way, he set up and he served the public that came to the play, and everybody had just adored the food. And once again, I'd like to thank you. My mama even liked it. My mama said, "Child, that boy can cook."
Again, thank you for inviting me. I'm always
great.
here to, what we say, fill in the gap.
Yeah.
Fill in the gap, and just most time, like I say, it ain't about money. It's just filling in that gap and promoting and supporting, being that ledge that supports the community and support my brothers and sisters.
Right, and that's a topic that I really want to touch on, because I find in this city, in Cincinnati in particular, it's a great city, and we've got a lot of things going for us, but we really don't support each other as strongly as we should. Case in point, when we talk about support, we talk about Liz and her restaurant, of course, and it going under. And I think part of that, and correct me, is due to the non-participation within our own community. We have to come together to learn how to support one another. Differences aside, we need to support each other in our business ventures. So, I'm definitely going to support you, bro. You got my support, and I got to let you know you're not a gap filler. You're definitely not a gap filler on the line. You are the main course.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm just here to, I just can't say it, say it enough. I'm always here to support us, anybody that needs my help, whatever it may be, because I got this coin where I call the village mentality.
Okay.
We support the village,
That's
all the way
right.
from the elderly to the kids.
That's right, because that's what we come up on.
Yep.
Yep. That's the food we was fed.
Yes, sir.
We it was a village that raised us.
Yes, sir.
It was Miss B down the street.
Miss B could get you.
Miss B would get you.
She didn't have to get you a permission.
And I kind of, when I watch your page, you inspire me to try new dishes. So, I've always been a guy that I like to dabble in the kitchen. My father was he was a chef. He worked in the food service industry for a lot of years. As a matter of fact, he worked at a local golf course here for some 45, almost the majority of his life. And he believed in teaching us, everybody, how to cook. So when I see you, somebody that actually knows how to cook, I get this inspiration. You know what I'm saying? I get inspired. It's like, throwing that alley-oop.
Right.
So you inspire me, bro. And I just want, I can never say that enough. I really got to let you know you've been a really big inspiration for me. And I would hope that, who's ever watching this show tonight, that they find inspiration in you. And to do some other things in life, to know that your dreams are possible to grab, So let me move on to a different topic. We were talking earlier, and we mentioned the youth. Now you have a youngster that's a chef. Am I
Yep,
Is this correct?
Chef Ja couldn't make it tonight.
Okay.
I am kind of, emotionally, kind of on a roller coaster because of that, because I wanted him to be here.
Okay.
He inspires me,
Okay.
because his drive at 10 years old to be a chef.
At what?
He 10. To be a chef is just unparalleled. He has that focus. I've talked to his father.
Okay.
I say, how's Chef Ja doing? He said, I'm mad at him right now. I said, well, what's going on? He said, he cooked everything in the house. I said, okay, and me and him keep trying to get together, and I want to bring him in, but eventually I think what's going to happen is, because right now I'm in the process of putting together a kids cooking competition.
Okay.
And
Great.
he's going to be one of the judges. I think everybody else would look outside and try to get all these fancy chefs in the city,
Right.
but I want him right next to me, and I think it's going to take off.
So that's amazing. So he's already accomplished. He's a chef.
He's a chef.
Okay.
He like they told me in school, they said, somebody asked a question one day, they said, so when are you a chef? They say when somebody hires you as a chef.
That's right. Okay. Okay. So
Chef Job, we're gonna get it together.
I know
Chef
that's
Job,
right.
we're gonna get it together, man.
10 years old, that is amazing. But what's even more amazing is the profound respect that you have for this kid.
Mm-hmm.
You don't, and it's, I'm picking this up, that you don't look at him as just a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Am I mistaken in that you
No.
look at him as a peer?
Yeah, he's a peer.
Yeah, okay.
When I talk to him on the phone, he's telling me about stuff, and I'm going, at 10, I wouldn't have known that.
Okay.
I in football, baseball, basketball, some gym shoes, a cartoon or what was on TV. I didn't know nothing about no sauce and grilling and, stuff like this.
Right.
And he blows me away when I talk to him, and he actually inspires me, and I know that I'm in the right industry. I know, like I said, today, there ain't too many places you can't go and see a chef or, somebody's promoting a chef. So that's why it's important for me. I want to get that cooking competition going. And
Right.
instead of having him in the competition, I want him sitting next to me as a judge, so people will know that he's not a kid. He's also one of the peers.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. Now, let me ask you this. Will we be selecting youth from just the Cincinnati area locally, or would this be an invitation that you would extend nationwide?
It could be nationwide. Initially, of course, I want to take care of home
Cincinnati
base first. I
Mhm.
want to take care of home base first, and if it flourishes nationwide, then we're more willing to accept it. If we have to travel, if they come to us, whatever it may be. I want to get the first one off the ground. I want him next to me. I want another chef, a local chef next to me. We're going to try to target kids. We're going to actually go to the schools and maybe have a mini competition inside the school. Whoever
Wow.
fits the criteria from the school, and we'll narrow it down to maybe 10 kids.
Wow,
And then
that's
we'll start the
fantastic.
competition, and hopefully we'll have a winner, and we'll have prizes and media attention, and I don't know what we can offer them, but and possibly that chef who wins, that child who wins it, end up working with me at the restaurant.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's fantastic. Another topic. I've heard tell that you also service those that are in the boot camp.
Yeah, I was
Okay.
doing it for the boot camp.
And talk about what the boot camp is. So
Boot camp is well, a lot of people exercise. You go through a series of exercises, cardio, and afterwards, the number one thing when you're exercising is to put back what you just released. You left in the floor, you left in sweat, you left in effort, and replace it with something healthy, because then you kind of wasting your time and your money.
Right.
I would go to various boot camps and serve meals and sell them, and once I get known, people will place orders.
Okay.
So I've had 4 or 5 orders before I even get there, and then a table set up, kind of like this, and people will just come up and ask questions, and I'll explain, carbs and calories and protein, what we call macros, and they purchase them. We'll connect, and it can lead to a family dinner, or sometimes, it has led to weddings and, all type of stuff. So,
Right. So, we've got a couple of minutes here left. So what would be your ultimate goal? And I've heard some of your immediate goals, some of your immediate dreams, to get the restaurant off the ground, to work with kids. What would be the ultimate goal for Chef Jordan?
to leave a legacy.
Okay.
To leave a legacy of just being that chef. Just being that number one chef who, a chef foundation where kids can come and train, to hone their skills, It's not $5,000 a semester, to learn, but and bring other chefs in, other chefs, maybe even local celebrities, just to kind of, boost it up and let them know that it's okay to be a chef, and freedom,
Right.
your creativity.
Okay, great. Will we be seeing you this year at the Music Fest?
I don't know. No, I don't know. What's his name? Ashley Brothers.
Yeah,
Jack's Casino.
Jack's Casino. Catch him at Jack's. Catch him at Jack's Casino. You can also, where else can we find you at?
You can
As a
find
matter
me.
of fact, why don't you tell us how we can follow you and, and stay in touch with Anthony Jordan.
You can find me at invitopersonalchef.com. You can find me at IPC/BIZ on Facebook. You can find me under Vito Personal Chef on Twitter.
Okay.
You can find me at faithandfitness.com, faithandfitness.net.
.net. Okay.
Yes.
Great. And this event at Jack's Casino, what month would that be?
It's actually this month. It's actually, it won't be me actually, doing anything down there. Actually, I'll be tomorrow at a, I can't think of the thing right now.
Okay.
But Jack's is just kind of something personal.
Okay.
But
Okay.
we just waiting. The number one thing right now is the restaurant.
Well, I'm sure you'll think of it later.
Yep.
Put it on your page.
Put it on my page. Follow me.
He's gonna put it on his page.
Yep.
Y'all follow him on his Facebook page, on all his accounts. Stay in touch with this dynamic chef. He's gonna make some big headways in this city, in this country. I believe in you, brother.
I believe
thank
in you, brother.
Thank you.
Yes. Love you. Love you. Inspired by you.
That's my man. So listen, we're about ready to wrap this thing up. Got great food here. I can't wait to break my fast so I can eat this. Namani, make sure I get this, okay? You know what I'm saying? So listen, this is Britton NewOne Carter, and this is On the Line. In our community, and I've said this throughout the show, oftentimes our kids, our youth, are left with just one particular dream. Maybe two. They either want to be rock stars, singers, hip hop artists, or athletes. You don't have to be confined by just one avenue in life. You can be lawyers. You can be doctors. You can be great scientists. You can be everything and anything
President.
other than a criminal, other than somebody that's trapped in drug addiction, other than somebody that's making the fatal mistake of taking someone else's life. Get out, reach out, get in touch with people like Mr. Jordan. Heck, follow me. Let's open up some doors and do some new things in our life. Let's keep this thing on the line. This is Britton NewOne Carter once again. This is On the Line. Ramadan Mubarak. Peace.